Three. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, thank you. Welcome everybody, this is F-Zero Climax, the final F-Zero game to be released. And it's also my favorite of the 2D ones, because it's really fast and I like going fast. So I'm gonna try my best to actually keep going fast, and not hit. Yeah, I'm just gonna try not to hit any walls, because it does slow you down quite a bit. But yeah, you'll see me drifting to the side a lot, so if you don't know the track layout, then this might be very confusing. Because when you strafe to the side, it speeds you up. It doesn't show on the speedometer, but you do go faster. So it's like a pretty nice time save. Also, there's going to be a lot of CPU racers in the way. Hopefully they won't be too annoying. Thankfully, when you're in the middle of a boost, you can keep your speed. So even if you slow down, as long as you get back up to full speed before the boost ends, it's fine. But right there, I slowed down right as the boost ended, so that's kind of unfortunate. So that's gonna happen a lot in this run, and that's also why Yasuo, basically the only other runner of this game, prefers to play in time attack mode. Just so you don't have to worry about any of the other racers. So yeah, this game isn't very popular. There's a few IL runners, but in terms of full game runs, there's only Yasuo and me. And I only recently got into it. I've had this game for a while, but I played it like a bit on and off because I couldn't record it. But now that I have my Game Boy player, I'm gonna put in a lot more time. So if this run has a PB, then it will be a record, because nobody else does it on Grand Prix mode. So guaranteed record hype. And my PB isn't very good, like it doesn't really use kips, because I didn't learn them yet, but now I have learned at least the doable ones, but there's a few really difficult ones that I'm not really gonna go for. I lost my speed. When you're boosting, you can keep stacking your speed up, and that will go until 1920 kilometers per hour. So preferably I would like get there as soon as possible and keep it, but with the other racers it's really difficult to maintain. And even just with some turns, it's just a pain to make it. These are the Novice tracks, which are a lot easier. But when we get to Platinum Cup, which doesn't have like different tracks for every difficulty, then you'll see that they are a lot more difficult. Like a lot of tight turns and just, you know, very difficult to drive on. So I'm using Crazy Bear, which is basically the best machine you can use if you use the sliding strats. It has really low grip, which helps, and it also has bad turning, which also kind of benefits. Otherwise I would be turning into the walls a lot quicker, so I can't do the really wide slides, which speed you up a lot. Also gonna do a little jump here, and barely missed it. But thankfully this is not difficulty, so we have respawns, it just takes a little while. So
Like, where did I end up?
yeah. It has these little checkpoints, because the track is made up of little segments, so in between every segment is like a checkpoint. So it'll just put you at the most recent checkpoint you hit, so that will be before the jump. Or well, after the jump in this case, but basically just afterward. Let's see if I can do it this time. Just gonna play it a bit safe and not try to land on the thin part, because that's pretty tricky. Let's also not die from hitting the CPU, that would be very nice. Dying from the CPU is not that bad, because you respawn instantly, because you're already on the track. But it's still like, you have to accelerate again, and it's kind of a pain. Although it does respawn you with full energy, so you can immediately start boosting, so it's not all terrible. So this is a really marathon safe category. If I were to play on standard or higher, then I wouldn't have those respawns. And it's also something you don't have in time attack mode, which is another reason I'm sticking with Grand Prix for now. And just barely bumped into the wall. So Crazy Bear doesn't really lose speed from doing these wide drifts, unless you hold it for too long. So that is also pretty beneficial, but some machines just lose all their speed when they start drifting, with like the holding down on the D-pad while turning. And with normal turning, their speed just gets locked, so they stop going through the little speed cycle, because you don't have like one specific top speed, you just fluctuate between two speeds. Like, you'll never see the speedometer say one thing. Oh boy. Okay, I'm just gonna play a bit safe here because I don't have a lot of energy. And there's Bloodhog, the other sort of useful machine, although it does kind of get outdone by Night Thunder and Crazy Bear in every way. Finish was a bit later than I thought. So yeah, I'm still learning all the track layouts and stuff, so I'm gonna hit a few walls here and there, but hopefully I'll mostly be able to keep my speed up. This track has a pretty tricky turn, and it's actually better to have a low grip for it, because you can start drifting into it and then, like, you're already facing to the side, so it helps you make the turn a lot better. So high grip is not necessarily better for actually making tight turns. At your normal top speed, it isn't too bad, but when you're going 19-20 kilometers per hour, it's basically impossible with some machines. I also want to hit these boosters while I'm in my boosted state, because it stacks onto the top speed. On the opener, they aren't too useful, because you lose that speed a lot quicker. Like, I think Crazy Bear loses 180 kilometers per second, so basically all the speed you gain from the boost blade is gone immediately. But with your boost state, you keep it pretty much the entire time. So that was the first cup done. That was Bronze Cup. Next up is Silver. But first we have a bunch of menus. And that's another reason I don't really like using time attack mode, because you have a lot of menus in between tracks. You have to first, like, actually not retry, because it's set to retry by default, so if you just spam A, then it's gonna waste a lot of time. And then you have to navigate to the cup, and then you have to go to the track, which if you're doing the master tracks, which are all the way at the end, that's gonna take a lot of time. Actually, it does underflow, so I guess it's not too bad. I guess for expert it's the worst, because you have to scroll through 6 and 10. So that's a lot of time waste on menus, which I don't really like. But with Grand Prix mode, you just spam A and it just goes to the next one. And this track also has a little shortcut. That was not even close. I was meant to land right there on the track. It's really tight. So now you have to wait for the respawn again.
This respawn is taking forever.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go for that on the final lap. It's really difficult.
Respawn is cheating.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, so I'm glad it's only on Novice difficulty. Like, this is basically the first step from Nintendo to dumbing down the series, so I think if we got a new game, it would be a lot easier, and just have respawns even more. Yeah, this track is pretty nice for drifting, because it's like, you're always turning anyway. So, that was a pretty nice final lap. Didn't hit any CPU either, which is pretty nice, because it's really difficult to avoid them sometimes. Because when you're facing to the side the entire time, like, there's not much you can do about it. Can't really see that far ahead. That's just the limitation of the GBA, so you just have to deal with that. So that is one thing boost blades are useful for in the first lap, is just getting back up to top speed. And some machines do keep speed a lot better, like Night Thunder has a lot better speed maintenance. It only loses about 60 kilometers per second. And same thing for Great Star, but Great Star isn't that useful on most tracks. It's used on tracks with a lot of like jumps and boost plates because it has such good speed maintenance, but in terms of drifting it's not that amazing because it does lose a lot of speed from it. I'm also not gonna go for the jump plate because it's absolutely tiny. I would just end up ramming into the wall and losing a bunch of speed and time from that. And energy as well, so generally it's something I would want to avoid. Yeah, like that. Because it's like in the middle of a turn, it's pretty tricky, so. Alright, so here we have Mist Flow, and this is a level where you especially can't see anything, because on top of the short view distance you have the mist, so you really have to know the track layout to do well here. So right there we have 3 boost plates in a row, and if you look at my speedometer, I lose all my speed before I even hit the next one, which is pretty bad. If I were using Night Thunder, then I would keep, like, I would probably go up to like 1400 after that chain. Oops, that anticipated the wrong turn. As I said, I only recently started putting serious work into this game, so still learning. And here it's really nice to have all those boost plates, because you can just immediately get your speed up to top speed. There's also a shortcut you can do on this track, but I don't think Crazy Bear can do it, and if it can, then it's just a way too tight to do in a marathon, or any kind of full game run. So I ran out of energy, so I'm just gonna take it easy for a bit. Unlike in F-Zero GX, the boost plates, the energy refill plates are a lot more scattered throughout the track. So you can't just have like a full refill at any point, you're always just like regenerating half of it at most. There we go. There's also different control settings you can use, like you can have a longer booster or shorter booster that's more powerful, or even just accelerators that's just like... I use the Rocket Start Accelerate on both my shoulder buttons to automatically get it, otherwise you would have to time it, and I'm too lazy for that, so I just hold the buttons and then let it go. But it does have lower top speed because of that, so I do have the normal accelerator on the A button, so that's what I'm using most of the time. This is a pretty tricky track. Ideally you would kind of want to go in between the mines, but it's difficult. The mines are massive. A lot bigger than in like F-Zero SNES, for example. Which will become apparent later on, because there's some tracks that are based off of the SNES tracks. 40 is actually not that bad.
I don't know if you're reading chat, but Fire Falcons is really excited to see you.
Yeah, he always is. I actually didn't know you could actually see chat there, so that's good to know.
Oh yeah. Jasper just put it up like a couple minutes after you started.
Oh, okay. That explains it. One other thing about this game is that it has amazing music. This is my favorite track in like the entire franchise. I love Dream Chaser to begin with, and I just love this version. There's a shortcut you can do here. You can do it on every lap, but on lap 1 it's really difficult. You have to make the jump and then land on the other side of it, and then you have to make a pretty tight air drift to get over to the finish, so It's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna try to do it on boost laps at least. If I don't side attack into the wall. Yeah, that's not nearly enough speed. Okay, let's at least get it on the final lap. And there goes my speed. Nope, lost it again. I can... Oh, I landed back after the finish line. So now I have to do another lap. That's the risk you take, but that was really damn close. Yeah, that's what you have to do, just land exactly at the end of the jump. My boost is gonna run out, so just never mind that. But yeah, you see what the shortcut was meant to look like, and just let's pretend I did that on every lap. That's a pretty sick 45-second lap. So that was the Silver Cup. Now we get to Gold Cup, which has some pretty difficult tracks.
Select your mode. Grand Prix. Select your class. Select your Gold Cup. Choose your vehicle.
I'm surprised I haven't scrolled past Crazy Bear yet. Those menus are really weird, like, the timing is just... You have to do it early, but then it's... I don't know, it just messes with my head.
3, 2, 1.
You guys always said the same thing, that the menu is
Yeah, it kind of is. So that's why I go for the category that doesn't do nearly as many of them. Because I don't trust myself. Okay, just barely made that. I missed the boost plate, but that's alright. I forgot that was the turn before that, so... And there goes my boosted top speed again, because I had it right before I wanted to boost. So never mind that. I didn't have enough for another boost, so that was pretty bad. The finish line is always a bit later than I expect, so I want to drift into it like fully to the side, but then...
Oh, I got goosebumps because of the awesome music and the driving style. Really like that.
Yeah, the music is amazing. And driving style is interesting. It's also like this in the other GBA games. Although usually you don't face this much to the side because you don't have the wide drift. Although in Maximum Velocity you do have the trick where you just go sideways into a dash plate and then you just stay sideways the entire time, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you can just barely get close to the walls so that you start taking damage by the energy, but you don't slow down yet. Like you don't bounce off of it or anything.
Like the SNES walls, basically?
Yeah, pretty much. And you can also just drive through it, so that's pretty useful. Don't kill me. Look, that was actually pretty useful, bouncing around them like that. I actually turned running into the wall into a strat, which isn't normally a thing here. You can also do a bigger shortcut here from the first jump plate, but pretty difficult, and oh, there it is. So yeah, thank God for respawns.
I was gonna say, like, the...
I was thinking, why are you taking so much risk with this?
Yeah, because of respawns. Otherwise I would never do that.
Yeah, I was looking at this like, no, no, no!
Yeah, I just shouldn't talk about respawns until it happens, so people get scared like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I was scared.
Well, I forget it because it's still an F-Zero game, and usually they are fucking ruthless.
This game is also ruthless at master difficulty. It's just Novice that has respawns.
I didn't
Well,
even
then
know
still,
that
usually
there
there's
was
no
respawn.
novice in
This
F-Zero.
looks really amazing.
Uh-huh.
This is amazing.
So yeah, this is
Game Boy Advance game.
The funny thing is that wind actually has effect as well.
Indeed it does. It's so similar to Death Wind and F-Zero SNES, except it's not nearly as powerful. Thankfully, because that's just a massive pain. Like, I don't know how people deal with that.
At least you can see where the fuck it's going as well.
Yeah, that is very useful.
That helps quite a goddamn ton.
Yeah, drifted right into him and lost my speed. That's really just like a common theme of this game. If you run into Grand Prix mode, just running into everybody. So in that aspect, it might actually be better to run in standard mode because you don't lap them as much.
Keep it up. You're doing great. You've got a new booster finish. Congratulations.
I think that's a good idea.
You won.
Yeah, we're getting takeaway, so
Okay, cool.
just need to give him a list of what you want.
Three, two, one.
Everybody's like, what the fuck is this shit? I need to move the camera. Next time Vallkyr will show Master GP.
Will I?
That's the question.
I could just expect a lot of deaths.
Make the chat bigger.
Yeah. Alright, nice. So yeah, a shortcut you can do. It's not that bad, I just forgot to press A one more time in the air, so it wasn't turned enough. But it's alright, it's easy on boost lap, so I should be guaranteed to get it. Right, auto turn. Never mind
Getting the
that.
hang of it.
Yeah, that seems that's also a common thing. Whenever you run into a CPU, the announcer applauds you for that, even though it slows you way the hell down. So
Well,
that's
they
kind of weird.
like to see some action, I guess.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
couldn't blame them.
I remember I had the same problem when I was playing this game. Because you go so fast and you can see so close to you. And
Yeah,
you cannot see ahead. That if you don't know the track, you just run into one.
yeah. You already have to memorize the track layout. It also doesn't help that Crazy Bear steering is terrible, so it can't really react to anything. So this is the track that most people hate because it doesn't have any walls. So I expect to die
Cool.
here.
That's good.
It's interesting.
It tracks you.
It definitely is interesting. It's just really difficult. Like, especially when you're going that fast, and if you don't know what the turns are, then there's no way you're gonna survive it.
That's the art of this.
Wow.
Stage.
This is my favorite soundtrack.
Yeah, dude.
It is really good.
By the way, no walls.
Yeah, about that. I kind of remembered.
And respawns.
Fuck yeah.
Just wasting a bunch of time, but
Like,
yeah.
Just do it like F-Zero X, just fly the fuck over.
That's why I like it.
Oh, I actually got the jump plate. There's a tiny jump plate there that you can use it, do a shortcut with. Oh.
So
But-
tiny you can hardly see.
Yeah. Like it.
Especially at this speed.
I would never go for that, like... If I were going for... Okay, there he is.
And now he died.
You can do a little shortcut with that, but I don't think I'll ever go for that unless I get like a lot better. Because it's first of all it's a really tight jump, so you have to have the perfect angle, and then just actually hitting the jump plate is so difficult.
Select your class. Select your difficulty.
Wait, did I just go? Yeah, I did.
You just
Let's
went
not-
for expert.
Crazy bear.
Let's not go for master.
He went for expert, I think.
Did I? Either way, I'm not gonna do that. Although Platinum Cup does have the same tracks regardless of the difficulty, so in that aspect it would be the same, it's just that the CPU would be right on my ass the entire time. Because they're filthy cheaters.
You're about to lose the lead.
So, little shortcuts
But
here.
you lose the lead.
Yeah, that part is really fun to do.
It's fun, if you can do it, yeah. That's the main problem though.
with this game, it also
Damn.
it also looks like you're above the city, far above. Instead with the Super Nintendo, you don't really see it. It's like
Yeah, that's more from the anime than anything.
I'll make sure again
Ah.
that. But the textures are
yeah, but F-Zero.
fake. You can
SNES actually has it as well.
Yeah.
Just it's really hard to recognize it as a city because it's just a couple of dots in a line crossing over. That's
The road and the city itself, it's only just one plane, whereas with this there are two planes.
Yeah,
And that makes it gives you a little bit of
well, except here
sense of
it's
depth.
here it's like basically the same level. But in the other tracks, yeah, it's noticeable. That is true. So this track has a lot of really difficult turns. If you just look at the minimap, you'll see where exactly. Also, the ice doesn't help.
There's another racer on your tail.
another racer on your tail.
Right, thank you, an answer.
Totally couldn't tell, considering the fact we just started the goddamn race.
Yeah, he just really wants to talk, man.
Dude, this sounds like a pretty goddamn movie.
Of course, Big Blue. Wow.
I would like the specific remake of this. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I'm talking about the specific remake.
You're holding the lead.
still like Zero DX, old school.
You're doing great.
The one you have to
the-
unlock by tickets.
Yeah.
That one's pretty
For
darn
me,
good. as well.
it's always a SNES one. It doesn't get better than that. That's just
I like them all. Can I just cheat and say that?
It's fucking Mute City.
You just don't want to pick a side.
Wow, man.
Oh shit, that was a bad decision.
Oh, respawn. Alright, well, whatever then.
Holy shit, Fire Falcon's going at it. God damn, dude.
He's really excited.
He always is. I still don't know why. Like, for some reason he thinks I'm some kind of god because I'm decent at GX, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, you are decent at GX.
Well, yeah, but I'm not a god.
you're decent with this game too, I think. Right?
I'm working on it, so...
It actually looks pretty fast. The movement and stuff seems to be there already.
I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah, like, I think you have more experience overall, just because you have actually done all the tracks.
Yeah, it's mainly that so long ago that I played this game that I'm not running.
That would be really cool, actually. If we could get some races or something.
You're not way ahead.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
It looks in the sim how I used to play.
And then I make mistakes like that, so, yeah. Oh, also, if you notice the music, it's actually a remix of the SNES version. Wow.
Well, it's a remix of the SNES track, right? So
Yeah.
it only makes sense.
It does make sense, but still, a lot of
This,
games that wouldn't be the case.
I think I prefer this than
Well,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
oh, over the X version, yeah, for sure.
the best one is the remix by Tony Tai.
I don't think I've heard
Zero
that.
X style SNES. You know.
I know those kind of versions, yeah. Like, I've heard a few of them, but I don't think I've heard that specific one. Yeah. Yeah, he makes some really good stuff. So this track also has a pretty fun shortcut. I don't know if I'm gonna make it on lap 1. Ooh, wow.
Yes, you did.
That's really tight.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. I just have to accelerate again. So.
That's a highlight version.
Not quite. Not quite.
If he makes the whole race.
If I got the insane shortcuts that you can do on boost laps, then yeah, but I'm just gonna go for the standard one because
Well, this
it's,
still works.
yeah, it definitely works.
Not bad. Let it free. Let's go.
Yeah, because of the shortcut you do miss a lot of energy, so just have to take it easy.
Slide short down.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
just about.
Wow. Ah, that's fine.
That
Because when you boost that stage, you don't lose nearly as much speed in the air, so that makes the shortcuts
looks more
easy.
dangerous than in my opinion.
Yeah. So, there we go.
Still not a bad race at all.
Yeah, I'm just really happy I got it on lap 1, because you have to hit it like on the very right side,
To move the entire.
otherwise you don't get enough distance.
Well, I can't believe I totally skipped the GBA F-Zeros. What?
Yeah,
What
it-
a stupid decision. Yeah, I see.
But this one is so many corners as well. So
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Like, it just has 54 tracks, just because of the Grand Prix mode alone. And then in the survival mode, you have like a bunch of tracks from GP Legend as well, and I think a few original tracks. Yeah, the track editor, that's like a really big thing.
it's a good track.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very easy.
And the box art of this game is also super sexy. Oh,
Yeah, I ran out of boost.
For this game, Nintendo decided to just stop with the third.
yeah, it makes sense because if one of their best Zero GBA game doesn't sell well.
That time the DBA was a bit saturated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people didn't bother with this one.
And there was the DS already.
Possibly. Yeah, this one's like 2004.
Yeah.
I don't know when
then
exactly.
The DS was already there.
But
Yeah.
this was a great time for it. So just had GX like a year before,
Mhm.
and got this one.
Oh yeah. It also had GP Legend in between, but I don't like it as much as Climax. It's just so good.
Feels like a prequel to Climax, like a demo.
Kind of, yeah.
Very similar, but they build on some ideas,
Mhm.
like the stack.
Yeah, that was entirely different than GP Legends. So I think it was just like maximum at 1300 kilometers per hour. So this is a pretty nice increase in speed.
As good as this game is, it would have really fancy, more powerful to make the draw distance
Yeah, that would be really nice.
better
Just
with this kind of speed.
yeah, it would be really nice to be able to see more, but just gotta work with what we have. That was actually a really good wall hit. That set me in a really good trajectory.
I can see why you went up, just YOLO all the way,
Yeah,
no worries. If you do
Pretty
happen
much.
to mess up, you just respawn.
at some point I do want to do the other difficulties as well, but I'm just gonna start off easy. So that was Sand Ocean, because it just shares the same track name. So, and here we have White Land 2. So, this one doesn't have a really difficult jump like in SNES. It's kind of, it's kind of silly. And ice physics are still weird, I don't fully understand them.
This is so much easier to score in this game. In SNES you can basically just not make it. So go for it.
I actually forgot to go for it because I didn't think I was this far into the track. I'm not really paying that much attention anymore, which is bad.
I see what you mean with the drawing distance.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just how you do the shortcut. It's so simple, and then SNES it's ridiculously hard just to save 0.2 seconds or something. Yeah. And you do that in a few tracks here as well, just here you don't have to. So, final track I think, after this. Yeah, so someone needs to get ready on time after this. Doesn't seem to be anyone there. Jasper, time is coming up. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, this is the final track, Firefield, and it's a lot more forgiving than the original. Let's just put it like that. Although it does still have very short energy refill, like it's basically exactly the same. I do want to be at full, if at all possible. Also, the mines are bigger, so that's one thing that does make it more difficult.
The original, it was really hard to beat it on
It's-
expert or master, I don't know what it's called. The hardest setting.
You couldn't drift in the original. Corners were just
I really remember I was quite happy beating the game.
Yeah, it's just hard to finish the track regardless of the difficulty.
Dying.
the refill so small.
Yeah, like right now I don't have any energy. Just boost it all away and then you have nothing left. Time. Sorry.
35, 48.
So yeah, that's a PB because I actually do skips now. So
Yeah, we're going here. Well done, Vallkyr.
technically world record, yay!
Yeah.
Uncontested records.
World record by default is best world record.
Was it Novice world record?
Grand Prix mode. Yeah, technically
GG's
both.
are in chat.
It's